El Shaddai got me, y'all. He done got me. Because he said, I'm going to put the coin in Greek up there to let you know that you hate your God and you hate the Creator. And you're just trying to deceive people. But in truth, my guy, you have been deceived. You have been deceived long before you were even conceived. The reason why is because this mistranslation has been propagated so long that you believe it. And any lie told long enough and accepted by a number of people then becomes their truth, but it doesn't make it the truth. An easy way to break down everything that you just put up here in the coin in Greek is that, in case people don't know, I can't actually get to it, but if you go in straight up, where you have the TOV looking characters, where it looks like it's TOV and then the O with the dot and or the 0 with the dots and the E, the O and the V, that means ton theos is what that is. Ton theos, meaning the God, right? After that, it got the KAI and then it got the theos again. So Kai theos, right? And I'm probably saying the Kai part wrong. But the thing about Kai means and or with or even, right? Depending upon the context of its usage. But if it wanted to relate the word, which the upside down little YOYOC is Legos, if it wanted to make that Kai Theos the God and make the word the God, there would have to have been another tone up there. Without the TOV in front of the second second Theos, then it is related as a God, not the God. So therefore, John 1:1 is not saying that the word is God. It's basically saying in the beginning was the word, and the word was a God, and that God, if you had it all, in the beginning was the word, and the word was a God, and that God was towards the God. So I know it's hard. It's cold out here. I know it's hard to accept because this is what you have been told. This is what so-called scholars just come to agree upon. And my thing about scholars, if you go, let's say you go to a medical school. In that medical school, you're going to learn the surgical procedures that are common, that everybody does. You're not going to learn anything new or how to be innovative. You're only going to learn how to do it exactly how those who came before you did it. The same way if you go to architectural school, engineering school, you learn to do it the same way. It takes somebody stepping outside of the box and looking at things differently to recognize how things should be. Now, I know you may say that's apples and oranges because this is, language, but you're talking about a language that is being translated by people who never spoke that language before, who was never living in that time frame before. All language and all history, especially the further back we go, is our best estimated guess based on the information that we have. But what I do know is that the early church had to figure out a way after they created the Trinity to ensure that the rest of the Bible tried to promote the Trinity as well. They did a pretty good job in most parts, but in other parts they failed. But they could only go so far because the Septuagint had already been written. And since the Septuagint had already been written and it was already in circulation, and people would have known that they had changed it, like the Marcions or the Gnostics, they would have known that they had made changes. So therefore, they just changed the doctrine, changed the meaning of a thing. Right. So even though they ran roughshod over it on the majority, there were certain things that they were still held on. And all they did in that instance was just tell you, well, this is what it actually means. This is why the early church said that it is not the scriptures or the Bible that has the authority, but it is the church that has the authority to translate scripture and to determine what scripture's meanings are, to interpret scripture. That the church had the authority, not the actual Bible has the authority. And no matter what religion that you are, if you're following that authority, if you're still following that authority, I ain't gonna say religion, whatever version of Christianity you are still following that authority because that is still the doctrine to which your different denominations still believe in. So unless you go and you think critically about these situations, you will always be following those that most of you still despise. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you gotta free yourself to be yourself. because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.